Meanwhile, Danica, the boss of X or Twitter, Elon Musk, is in a brawl with Britain's Prime Minister, Sir Keir Starmer. I must say, is acting like a weak man trying to be strong during this crisis. Starmer tweeted, "We will not tolerate attacks on mosques or on Muslim communities," to which Musk quite reasonably replied, "Shouldn't you be concerned about attacks on all communities?"
What can one anticipate when the world's most prominent business figure transitions from a fervent advocate of space exploration to an impassioned and often unpredictable political commentator? Elon Musk, formerly the owner of Tesla and the founder of SpaceX, has recently turned his attention to British politics, igniting a storm of controversy. Musk's unexpected foray into the political arena has placed Labour leader Keir Starmer and his party on the defensive, as Musk increasingly dictates the terms of political discourse within the United Kingdom. What lies at the heart of Musk's actions, and what motivates his ability to rally over 1 million individuals in opposition to the Labour government? Brace yourself, for this narrative unveils a nation teetering on the edge of change, with a billionaire whose voice cannot be easily dismissed.
Absolutely exploded. And what we've seen with Keir Starmer's response, as well as the mainstream media in the UK, is this guilt that gets thrust upon white people who are historically perceived to have privilege, and therefore, no, it can't possibly be the fault of ethnic minorities or migrants. It's this perception of unconscious bias. Therefore, it's easy. It's so easy and safe for Keir Starmer to take that safe route and not say we need to look after all communities.
This serves as a courteous reminder to our esteemed viewers. Kindly ensure that you like this video and subscribe to the channel prior to engaging with the content of this story. Your continued support plays a crucial role in enabling us to bring attention to significant societal issues, such as the discussions featured in this segment. At this juncture, it is most opportune to examine the profound impact that Elon Musk's actions have had in disrupting the political landscape of Britain.
By suggesting that at the next UK general election in 2029, the established parties, left and right, Labour and the Tories, will be, in his words, crushed at that next.
Elon Musk, an individual renowned for his propensity to challenge established norms and disrupt various industries, has assumed a new and provocative role as a political disruptor. Over the past year, Musk has significantly intensified his criticisms of Keir Starmer and the Labour government. His strategic use of the social media platform X, formerly Twitter, has proven to be both pointed and influential, particularly at a time when public support for the leadership of the Labour Party has notably waned.
Election. Now, what's he pointing to? Well, Elon Musk is pointing to the complete collapse of public support for Prime Minister Keir Starmer, who of course has only been in the job since July. But if you look at the polls, Keir Starmer's net ratings have collapsed to minus 38. So he is in what we call net negative territory, or what I like to call Prince Andrew territory.
Musk's intervention began with what appeared to be a relatively minor action, a tweet in which he retweeted a petition calling for a general election. However, this seemingly modest gesture catalyzed a groundswell of discontent, which rapidly gained momentum and sparked widespread dissatisfaction. The scale of this discontent reached unprecedented levels, ultimately going viral across the nation.
Well, Elon Musk is certainly not intimidated. He continues to speak out, particularly on what's happening in the UK right now, much to the frustration of the elites. It all started when Elon Musk said that what we're seeing with rioting in the UK was inevitable, and that civil war is probably likely because of unchecked immigration.
A retweet, often seen as a simple act, proved to be far more significant when initiated by Musk. It not only disseminated the petition to a broader audience but also catalyzed the launch of a widespread campaign. Within a single day, the petition amassed 100,000 signatures, surpassing the minimum threshold required for it to be considered for debate in Parliament. By the end of the week, this number had skyrocketed to over 1 million, an achievement that would have been virtually impossible without Musk's involvement. The petition garnered support from a diverse coalition, Musk's followers, who have demonstrated a unique ability to merge celebrity, technology, and politics, individuals advocating for the restoration of free speech, technology enthusiasts, and political skeptics. United by a common cause and the hashtag, this virtual army propelled the petition onto the global stage.
You just held your second Cobra in 2 days. Is that a sign of how worried you are about the situation?
The Cobra meeting was to coordinate our response to the disorder, and I made it very clear on a number of occasions that those involved will feel the full force of the law.
In fact, Musk's actions went beyond merely criticizing the Labour Party. They represented a broader condemnation of the political system as a whole. His tweets highlighted what he perceived to be an increasingly detached and unresponsive government. The final tweet in particular proved to be especially provocative, sparking numerous contentious debates across the platform. Musk's assertion that the voice of the people is the antidote to tyranny resonated strongly, as the petition garnered escalating attention. However, as its visibility grew, mainstream media outlets became conspicuously reluctant to cover it. This silence was widely interpreted not as passive omission, but as an implicit endorsement of the status quo, further exacerbating public discontent. Why, many asked, were the media so hesitant to address a cause that over 1 million people clearly felt was valid? Musk himself pointedly called out this silence. Taking to Twitter, he remarked, "The media silence on this petition is deafening. What are they afraid of?"
To anybody involved, either directly or online, that you are likely to be dealt with within a week, and that nobody should be involving themselves in this disorder.
There have been a lot of warnings already about more disruption tomorrow. Are you worried that this could escalate even further tomorrow?
We obviously went through the available intelligence, the deployment of officers, because our first duty is to ensure that our communities are...
This statement further exacerbated public outrage, as citizens felt increasingly marginalized by the very institutions that were intended to hold the government accountable. In response, the hashtag #AnswerThePeople rapidly gained traction, intensifying the pressure on the Labour Party to respond to the growing demands for accountability. Elon Musk, undeterred by the momentum of the petition, continued to amplify his criticisms without pause. He turned his attention to the deep-rooted frustrations that had long plagued the British public, perhaps most notably regarding the state of civil liberties. One of Musk's harshest critiques centered on what he described as a tyrannical police state. He pointed to numerous instances in which individuals had been incarcerated merely for expressing their opinions on social media, while those guilty of more serious offenses were met with lenient punishments. Musk's pointed observations resonated with a public increasingly disillusioned by perceived injustices within the system. These criticisms were undoubtedly felt with particular intensity by those who believe that their fundamental rights and freedom of speech are increasingly under threat in the United Kingdom today. Elon Musk went so far as to boldly advise against visiting Britain, posting on Twitter, "I don't think anyone should go to the UK when they're releasing convicted paedophiles to imprison people for tweets." This provocative statement struck a chord, especially in light of Keir Starmer's conspicuous silence on the matter, which, in the eyes of many, conveyed a message far more resounding than any words he could offer. Starmer's reluctance to engage with these concerns only served to amplify the criticism directed at him and the Labour Party.
The owner of X, Elon Musk, has been tweeting over the past few days about your response to this crisis, about what's been going on. He's claimed that civil war in the UK is inevitable. He is a powerful voice. A lot of people follow him on Twitter. Are you worried about his impact, or might he have a point about some of the things he's saying?
As Musk's criticisms intensified and the petition neared the milestone of 1 million signatures, Keir Starmer's continued silence became a focal point of public discourse. For several days, neither Starmer nor most of his senior ministers made any substantive comments regarding the mounting tensions. This silence was widely perceived as both indifferent and callous, further aggravating public frustration. Musk himself directly addressed Starmer, stating, "Instead of ignoring your people, it doesn't make the issue go away. Instead, they make more noise." Many individuals resonated with this remark, and when considered in context, it was seen as a direct critique of the leadership within the Labour Party. Musk's statement underscored the growing perception that Starmer and his party were failing to engage meaningfully with the concerns of the public, thereby exacerbating the very unrest they should have been addressing.
Our first duty has to be to our communities to keep them safe. That is my sole focus. The police are doing a difficult job in difficult circumstances, and I think that everybody should be given their full support to ensure that we can make sure that our streets are safe and our communities feel safe and secure.
The challenges facing the Labour government are not solely political but are also deeply economic in nature. With inflation rates on the rise, food banks increasingly at capacity, and public sector strikes becoming more frequent, the nation is confronting multiple pressures. Musk highlighted these critical issues, questioning how a government could legitimately claim to represent the people when so many of them are enduring hardship. In response, one social media user remarked, "This is a first-world country, and we can't even buy bread," a comment that sparked a range of reactions. Some fully supported the sentiment, viewing it as a poignant reflection of the country's struggles, while others accused Musk of trivializing these serious issues and oversimplifying the complexities of the situation.
MPs want to question Elon Musk. They imprison people for tweets. Imagine what they'll do to the guy who owns it.
Yes, great point. I love the headline. MPs to summon Elon Musk to testify about X's role in UK summer riots. Yeah, you summon the richest man in the world who owns the most influential political media platform, who's best mates with the leader of the free world. You totes summon that guy. I mean, it's so absurd.
The British public's concerns regarding Musk's involvement in politics extend far beyond the borders of the United Kingdom, becoming a matter of international significance. Mainstream media outlets in the United States, several European nations, and parts of Asia have picked up the story, framing it within the broader narrative of the people versus the elite. Musk himself acknowledged that the situation is not confined to the UK alone, asserting that people worldwide are increasingly awakening to the reality that the systems governing their lives are inherently flawed and unjust. Each signature on the petition represents a personal story of disillusionment and betrayal. From individuals surviving on half pay to single mothers struggling to make ends meet, and pensioners who feel abandoned, the comments accompanying the petition serve as a poignant catalogue of societal neglect. Musk amplified these voices by sharing screenshots of the heartfelt, emotional accounts that underscored the petition's momentum. Among the most striking comments were those such as, "I voted for Labour because I believed in the promises given. I can't pay my heating bill now and feel completely let down." These personal narratives transform the petition from a mere political gesture into a powerful form of collective action, a human crusade demanding attention and change.
Of course it's unlikely. I mean, the disinformation seemed to come largely from other countries. It didn't come from the United States, it didn't come from Elon Musk. It seems like it came from outside countries interfering.
And also the more we learn, the more we find out a lot of it wasn't disinformation.
That's the real question. How much was suppressed by authorities? That's the question we're all asking. I don't know what we're allowed to say about it. That's the question, not did Elon Musk do a bad tweet.
The petition has now surpassed 2 million signatures, compelling the Labour Party to confront the escalating public discontent. Although it is unlikely to result in an immediate call for a general election, the petition has undeniably intensified the pressure on Keir Starmer's leadership. Political insiders have suggested that doubts are emerging within the Labour Party regarding his ability to lead them effectively into the next election. In response, Musk took to Twitter to assert, "Leadership isn't about complaining when things get tough. It's about proving that you can deliver on the promises you make." This remark has sparked a wider conversation about whether the Labour Party can recover from this public relations crisis and whether Starmer is capable of restoring confidence in his leadership.
And why is it some people, mentioning no names, Nick Lowles, get away with shocking tweets? It depends. It seems to be a little bit two-tier. Would that be the word, two-tier?
Wouldn't you want
It's a phrase I've invented. I'm trying it out.
Surely all of the things he'd say he'd say all those things actually in the committee. This is a good reason to get Elon to turn up. You know, he can fight the side of the argument.
That's actually a good point, but the way they phrase it as summoning is clearly, you know, a sort of flex to say, and you see the EU doing this.
A high-level task force was established, a so-called gold group, to address a tweet from over a year ago, categorizing it as a high-risk, major incident. As this story continues to unfold, one thing remains indisputable: the political landscape in India has been clearly defined. Furthermore, Elon Musk finds himself at the center of it all. If you place your faith in the power of the people, and in their ability to compel governments to enact change, then I encourage you to watch this and share it with others. Thank you for your attention. As always, please like and subscribe for more content, and feel free to share your thoughts in the comment section. It is essential that the significance of these discussions does not fade into obscurity, a goal that can only be achieved through collective engagement.
We're more powerful than you. The way, you know, Keir Starmer is threatening to lock people up, the way people are getting locked up. Look at Alison Pearson, visited for a year-old tweet. They set up a gold group, you know, a high risk, you know, major incident group to deal with this year-old